guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today you will see me do a watercolor painting, and this is actually a gift for one of our friends who has just got married. So this is a video, obviously will be posted after the wedding because they haven't been given the gift yet, but I do hope that they love it because I know I had a lot of fun doing it. So you can see that I'm starting to sketch out the shape there. So it's actually 3 babushka dolls, one being the father, the mother, and the baby. And I've tried to do it in a really fun sort of way, not necessarily sticking to the traditional babushka sort of style, but kind of adding my own style in there. I wanted to create this piece and make it quite simple, but still have a lot of detail. So when you look at it, you're not just, you don't just go, oh, that's pretty. You go, oh, hang on, what's that? Oh, it's got that detail and this detail, and look at the way that that's colored. So I don't know whether I achieved that in the end, but I think that I did a really good job. And I really struggled in the sketching stage trying to get the man's hair correct. So I was actually really happy with the way that that turned out in the end. It is probably one of my favorite features of the entire painting. So I'm just putting in the main details, and as you can see, I'm just using a biro, like a black pen, because I found out that that ink doesn't smudge around when I'm trying to add watercolor to it. So I know that a lot of my fine liners and things like that, they smudge and it pulls the ink out of the paper when I try and add water to it. So I definitely know that that doesn't happen with a black pen. So I thought, well, I'm going to use that because, yeah, I don't want it smudging all around the paper. So I'm just erasing the original sketch, and I have taped it down to board so that it doesn't buckle or move around on me. And I am doing this with just my $2 shop watercolors. I have no idea what brand they are. But yeah, they work well for what I want them to. And I thought with this, I would just go around the very edge and do the background first, because if I stuff up the background, I stuff up the whole piece. So I might as well get that over and done with first. So I've added a heap of color and a heap of water, and my idea was that I'll let that soak into the paper ever so slightly and then go around and use, I'm actually using toilet paper because it's what I had on my desk to mop up the rest of the water and give it a really cool sort of dulled out sort of look, which I absolutely love. Out of the whole painting, that's one of my favorite things, is the background and the man's hair. So now I'm using my skin tone that I've made. So I mix this one and I use it on most of my watercolor paintings that have a skin tone or a lighter skin tone. And so I did that first, and from my many other watercolors, I have found that you definitely need to dry the piece in between sections, because I am very impatient and I tend to go straight from one section to another section and not let anything dry, and it all blobs in together and it just turns out terrible. So I have learnt that lesson, and I'm still not patient. I just have a hairdryer and I dry it, so it's a lot quicker for me. So I'm just putting in the block colours. So I'm doing the beard and the hair, and the eyes. And whenever you see me put too much colour down, which you can just see me do with the eyes now, I actually dry the paintbrush and then put the paintbrush back onto the eye or onto the colour, and it actually pulls the extra water back into the paintbrush. So instead of trying to get in there with like a big piece of towel or anything like that and then just smudging it around the paper, I find that a lot easier is, dry the paintbrush so that it'll absorb the water that's on the paper. And actually pulls up the excess water and color. You can see me doing it now on the little baby. So I was actually pretty lucky. I had an old purple color that I'd used on a previous piece that had all dried out, and I just added a little bit of water to it, and it actually brought that color back. So I used that for the dress, which I was really happy about. And once I'd added in all of the colour, I used my Pentel pocket brush pen and some of my Unipen fine liners to add in the detail. So I've done a huge thick line around the edge and like all of the main edge details with my pocket brush pen. And then I go in with, I believe I used an 8 and a 5 to do most of the detail in this piece with those fine liners. I love the way that the pocket brush pen sort of glides along the paper. Unfortunately, I think I nearly ran out of ink. So I'll need to try and figure out how to refill that, which I haven't done it, so I might watch some tutorials on how to do that so I don't stuff it up and get ink all the way through my office. But yeah, that will be an adventure. So you can see I'm just adding in those details now and sort of defining the eyes and the face a little bit more. And just doing those main lines before I get into the smaller details. I do go out of this shot a little bit. I'm sorry. I think I do it a little bit in this because when I'm zoomed in, often I'll forget that I'm actually zoomed in and I'll go off to, do different sections of the painting or the drawing and then come back and go, I wonder if my camera's still on. I'll look up and what I've been doing isn't actually in the shot at all. So I apologize for that. And in a second, it'll scoot back up to the man's head and you'll see, all of a sudden it's detailed and you have like all these awesome details that you just didn't see me draw, but surprise! So I wasn't too sure what to do on the dress because I kind of wanted it to look babushka-y. I hope I'm saying that right, but look like a babushka doll without it looking too traditional, and that's why I didn't do like the cloak over her head. I thought I'll just do the hair the same as I did the man's hair. And I tried to keep the baby as simple as possible because it was very small, and if you've seen anything else that I've worked on, this is probably one of the smallest things that I've drawn in a while. And there you go, you can now see all the details of the man's head. And then my favorite part, and I was like trying to hold the camera while do it, so it's a little bit shaky, but the best part of doing any watercolor piece or any painting that you've put a frame around is taking that masking tape off. If you don't do this with your art when you're painting, I recommend it because it is such a satisfying feeling taking that off, and it just makes it look so professional from having that outline around the edge. It also helps with like the paper not moving when you're painting it and helping it not to buckle. Make sure that you dry it while it's still taped down. Otherwise it'll still buckle. But yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed watching my video. Please let me know what you think of it, if you think it was a good idea or whether there was something that I could have done a lot better. Otherwise, I thank you for watching and I will see you in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.